Okay, hey you guys, this is Sherman, and this is the Diversity Networking Group, and we're just having like a power moment. I had a conversation with my grandkids this morning, both of them at 7 years of age, and I've had conversations with them before, but on serious matters like religion and science and stuff like that. So we thought we'd have a little lighthearted moment today, and we would talk a little bit about politics, and we'd talk more specifically about economics and how capitalism and everything like that works. And so my kids, we started talking about the gold system and why we have dollar bills and that kind of stuff. This kind of stuff that grandpas always talk with their kids about. Well, at least my kids, we talk about it. And so we started talking a little bit about how there's a difference between Democrats and Republicans, and against and with those two particular processes in mind, what is the difference between the person who believes in big business and the person who believes that big business should be taxed more, or the difference between big government and the difference between small government. Well, it's an interesting conversation. And like I said, I was talking to 7-year-old kids, and so we kind of, and as a matter of fact, I think I actually even still have the paperwork that we were looking at. But for brevity's sake, I'm going to kind of explain to you what I explained to my kids. Okay? All right. And I'm going to do it on this piece of paper right here. Okay? So on this piece of paper here, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the banking system. Okay? And we're going to look at money and how those things kind of all work out together. Okay? Let's say that this is a bank. Okay? Can you all see that? Okay, that's a bank. And the bank takes in money, right? So the bank takes in money, and the bank also, okay, and we'll kind of put a little thing on top of the bank like that, okay? So that's the bank, okay? The bank takes in money, and then the bank actually is able to take that money and give it out, okay? And it gives it out to homeowners, right? Okay, so the money goes to homeowners, and it also goes to people, okay? And we won't put them on there, but for brevity's sake. And it also goes to businesses, okay? And let's say these are businesses, okay? So also that money also goes to businesses, okay? Businesses do what? Businesses create things, and that money kind of goes back around to business there, okay? So let's talk about this just a little bit more, okay? Businesses also employ people, right? So they employ people. And when they do that, what they'll do is the businesses will actually give money to the people because they build all their stuff, right? Okay, is everybody's following me right now, right? Okay. So the conversation I had to the kids is I said, hey, guess what? Now the problem we have here is here's the old government, okay? Because the government is down here, okay? This is the government, okay? And that's the White House, okay? We'll just say that's the White House, okay? And the White House is supposed to take money from the people in the form of taxes, right? Okay. People and taxes. And what's the government supposed to do? Well, the government is supposed to do things like, do roads. Okay, roads. And pay for our defense. Okay, so that's a gun. Okay, that's a gun. Okay? And really, that's all the government's supposed to do. It's supposed to pay for our roads and our guns. Okay? To protect us. Okay, and they do a few other services, but really that's pretty much all they're really supposed to do. The problem we're having here is that the government is saying, no, what we want to do is we want to come here and take the place of business, and we want to take their place, and we want to begin to create jobs. Okay, well, it doesn't work that way because somehow or another we kind of, but also the government wants to take the place of banks and give the bank money to bail out the banks, okay? The problem we have there, you guys, is that somebody has got to be paying the money to the government, okay? All right? The problem we have here is that people are the ones who are paying the taxes to pay for the government, and where is the government going to continue to get their money from? If the government's taking the place of business, okay, by Xing business people out, it makes it kind of tough for people to pay taxes because there's nobody making businesses here, okay? And this is what I was trying to tell my kids. I said, look, kids, this is what really needs to happen, okay? And I'll make this real short, okay? In the grand scheme of things, you want to have a lot of businesses, okay? You want to have a lot of businesses creating a lot of money, creating a lot of jobs, okay? A lot of jobs. Losing my pen. Let me find another pen, okay, because we're running out of time here. Creating a lot of jobs for a lot of people, Okay, that's what you want to have. Okay, the more people you have making a lot more money because of these businesses, the more money that you can pay in the form of taxes to the old government. All right, okay, to the old government, and that's how economics is supposed to work. Okay, if the government would get out of the way of business, so that people could pay more tax, so more people could be employed, so that more taxes could be paid to the government, then the government could do whatever the heck it wants to do. Okay, so I explained this to my grandchildren, and guess what my grandchildren said? You're right, Poppy. You're right. We need a smaller government who gets out of the way of business, so business can do it. And if they do that, then they're going to make more money in the first place. And so I asked them one more question, okay, and I'll make this very short. I said, well, what if you do this, guys? What if you tax people who make money? Okay, if you tax people who make money, this is what's going to happen. Okay, somebody's got to make money someplace here, guys. Okay, somebody's got to make money someplace. Okay, so if you've got a business person, okay, and there's a business person, he's making big money. Okay, he's making big money. Okay, and what's he going to do with that big money? He supposedly is supposed to be hiring more workers. Okay, right? But if you start taking some of his money away, what's he going to do? Well, he's probably going to not hire one person here. He may not hire two people. Okay, but guess what that one lone person still has to do here? That one lone person here still has to pay taxes, right? And guess what the government's been doing with those taxes? It's been, oh, lost my pen again, guys. Maybe I'll use a marker or something like that. Makes it work. Okay? And what the government is doing is they're saying, okay, Mr. Lone Person here, you're going to still pay a lot of taxes so I can do more government services and stuff like that. So I try to explain to my kids, and I said, look, guys, what makes more sense? That there are more businesses or that there are less businesses? And they said, well, it makes more sense that there are more businesses. Well, does it make more sense that those people at the top keep their money so they can keep hiring people? And the kids said, Poppy, that only makes good sense. If businesses cannot make money, then they can't hire people. And if you can't hire people, then they can't pay taxes. And if you can't pay taxes, then guess what? You're never going to get the welfare. You're never going to get all of the other government services that the government continues to make for people. So that was my Economics 101 class for my kids. And if a 7-year-old can figure it out, you guys, then maybe our government can figure it out too. Okay? Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray. It's been the Diversity Networking Group Power Moment. It's run a little over, but I think 8 minutes or so of discussing this is probably, more than most people get in a whole day. Okay? Anyways, we'll talk to you soon. Love, peace, and soul. Bye-bye.